There's that prior day high. See if we get a pullback into that overnight high. Now, could I have entered here? I don't know. Kind of tough. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little shallow. Yeah, but I'm not gonna moan it. A little homosexual. What's good, see? This thing is so slow. Byproduct of the bull market. Back into the top of that range. Some nice volume coming in. Oh, let's see. This is so tough. We're right into this top of the range again. Hard to long here. But I can't short either. It's un-American. That, and it's also a pretty bullish market. I just can't short. Holy, I drank my coffee too fast. Starting to get zippy. Alright, I'll be interested in trying this 500 here. Let me draw a line just for clarity. Very tight stop. Might get hit here. I'll get a couple more points. Need to copy the level onto my other screen real quick. Wonder if there was any news. I can't see anything on that print right there. My usual source is down right now. Alright, just did that little liquidity grab there. It has to go now. Or not. Or that stop gets hit, which is fine. I think this was a good opportunity. Wow. Look at that perfect placement. So it swept that little low where I entered just by a few ticks. And a nice little pop, but let's go. Let's see. Where's my? Oh, that's interesting. My auto trail should have popped up. Oh, there it is. There you go. Fully out. There you go. Nice little 10 points. Now, full transparency, I did start the day classically red with a fat trade. I was down like 30 points. I'll show you the trade too. So 10 a.m. little print, some news about tariffs. I try to what looked like a higher low, and I set my stop below this pivot, which bad call. It should have been over here, just right below 400. So that would have been a nice, I don't know, 10-point stop or so. Would have been okay. But yeah, like 10, 12 points at most would have been okay. But ended up taking 30-point hit, so $600 down. And I just scalped my way back out of it. And after this trade, I guess I'm back to break even on it. Well, I guess technically I'm up $40, but after commissions, I'm basically break even as the hit rate. 2 losing trades, 5 winning out of 7 so far. Slow session. Volume tapering again. Classic. I think it's gonna be a whole lot more of this again. Just your classic Wyckoff. Volatility expands, then it contracts, then expands, and I'm guessing we're gonna contract again. If we do, I would probably assume this is gonna last all the way until like 1:30 or 2 p.m. whenever lunch on Wall Street ends, and then get a nice move, whether it's gonna be down or up in the last 2 hours. But I don't know. I mean, if we accumulate here at the top of this range, I would honestly assume that we'll potentially see this range broken. That's if that happens. Who knows? They could just accumulate this thing at the top of this range again and just send it down in the last 2 hours. Never know, but we'll see. I'm not here to guess, just here to look for my edge. Which honestly, I would actually hope this range doesn't break. I love a good range. I know a lot of traders get screwed in these conditions because they want to, get a big position going, ride it for 100, 200 points. And those conditions, I mean, yeah, I could still make it work, but this is ultimately easier for me because stops are usually tight. I mean, you got clear levels defined within this range, and I don't know. These conditions usually always favor my strategy more than what we had about a month ago when the market was just dumping. And that was nice too. That was really nice for me as well. It's just stops were wider. They were definitely wider, and I experienced a bit of FOMO because it's like the market is moving 500 points in a day and I'm over here grabbing 10. It's a little frustrating to see that, but nonetheless, like I said, I'm just here to grab my piece. Holy shit. I don't know if my mentor's watching this, but he sent me a screenshot of his XFA that he started up like 2 weeks ago. Thing is up, it's like 15k. He took out 5 already, so about to take another 5. That's pretty insane on a 50k account with Top Step. What a guy. This was okay. I don't know. I don't really love that because what I'd much rather see here, let me switch to the 15 sec. Because yeah, we got a level of interest here and all that, but if we swept these lows here and it was like the same move, and it was just like a little lower, yoink, like that. Closes back above 500. Maybe get a 1 minute hammer there or something. Would have been amazing. I would have been all over that. But this one, while it's still nice, I mean, you got very, very tight risk reward. Sometimes I just want a good liquidity sweep instead, you know. Yeah, see, it's pretty great. Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. But these kind of higher lows, yeah, like I like to see these more post a new high of day. So if it happened right here, so we made a new high of day, boom, back into 500, higher low, yeah, I would have taken it. But after it's like chomping around like this, and yeah, I don't know. It's a little sketch. I've definitely been burned by a lot of those, but nice to see it work. All right, let's a member in the tank just reached out and he wants feedback on his trade idea. So let's go over that together just for fun. Let's see, let me pull it up. Is it? Okay, now let's see. Okay, interesting. 1104. Oh, short. Okay. Okay, so he took a short, I guess here. Let me get this back up. 1104. So he took this shooting star at prior day high, and he used. Let me see. So he was thinking this is going to be an up thrust, like a new high of day. Boom, boom. Yeah, that's tough, man. I'm about to just tell him to get on stream. And Yo, what's good, Kevin? All right, so no, I just started, but look, this is I just wanted to show you on here so I could draw. But so this is your chart, right? And I get what you were going for. So we're at the top of the range. Let's see. You say you were going off the 30-minute. I completely understand. So top of the range, I get where you're trying to short, but it's tough because it's such a bullish environment, as you know, with the backdrop and all. So that would be my first, I guess, thing that would deter me from shorting. And the way I would even approach a short in this market would be like a lower high kind of deal. So in this situation, right, like I get it, this is your candle and it's a shooting star at prior day high. I get the idea, and it's not bad if you know it's decent. It's like a B quality trade. So your stop is nice and tight. Like you're probably targeting 400 here, back into this little area. So even if it didn't work, it's not bad. You know, it's a very tight stop. However, you said you were looking at it like an upthrust. For me, if I'm looking for an upthrust, it would be more like something like this, where this entire thing is ranging as it was, and we get this quick little blip up right above this area, so where you see overnight high for me, and it puts up this same candle right here, and it shuts right back down into this range, right back below the overnight high. So I guess same idea, but this same candle down here. So that would be more of an upthrust. But like in this situation, we basically left this range. Like we were ranging, we break out, and I know you can't really see it on this 2-minute, but on the 15-second it shows it quite well. It breaks this range, breaks out, makes a new high of the day, holds it, like retests and holds it here, and then we just keep going. So while yes, you could try it here, try to short prior day high with that signal candle, overall it's just it's tough, man. It's tough. Like I said, it's the backdrop plus can't call it a true upthrust, but if you're just trying to short prior day high there, I get it. And once again, even if it didn't work, it's a very tight stop. I don't think it's a big deal if it doesn't work, you know? Now, with this backdrop, it's much easier to look for a long. Like any B tier idea, it just works so much better. Like you can scalp structure, you could scalp things that you normally wouldn't, and not saying you should, but I'm saying they will work. Or they have a higher odds of working just because of the backdrop. So hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any more follow-up questions. Yeah, one sec. So yeah, like it just depends how you're looking at it, right? Yeah, I thought if you're just looking at I would say it's not an upthrust if I'm just judging this intraday, just this 2-minute chart that you were looking at, right? Then it's not an upthrust because, like I said, I want something like boop and right back in. This already left our range, so it technically wouldn't be an upthrust until it's back in here, right? And it never got back into that range. So I thought you were talking about that. But if we're looking at the 30-minute, let's check that out. And I'm assuming you're calling it an upthrust because it blipped above the prior day session. Yeah, I mean, that could work, But if you're looking at it on the 30-minute now, the 30-minute never gave us a signal, right? So, while yes, I get what you're saying, and like I said, it technically could be an upthrust in that sense, yeah. Even if I just use a 2-minute here, right? Or let me see, let me go back. If you're talking about in the sense of an upthrust above prior day high, yeah, 100%. And it just goes back to what I said about this idea. Like, yeah, it could definitely work. Blip above prior day high, decent signal, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that could definitely be an upthrust. Like I said, it's just with this backdrop, you're just more likely to get steamrolled on a short. But that's what takes away from this idea for me. It's just the backdrop, right? Now, if you really want to, yeah, I mean that's a valid idea. There's an upthrust signal, a prior day high. Take it. It fails. It is what it is. The good thing about this is your signal was tight, so like it's not that bad of a loss. Like I'm assuming you're putting your stop right above this and targeting like 400 or overnight high at first. Yeah, that's valid. Like, that's valid. It's valid. Like I said, you're mainly working against the backdrop here. So if it was the opposite, right, and maybe we were in a short environment and the same thing happened, this thing would have likely worked for you. But being as how strong the market has been, yeah, shorts are just getting steamrolled nonstop. And the same thing like in this backdrop, right? If the other thing was to happen and you saw the same setup upside down, but it was with the prior day low, this would have been a valid trade. Even if you got stopped out, it would have been a valid trade. So, like I said, I don't think your trade was necessarily that bad. I think it wasn't an A plus, like I said, because it's not a level of interest and the backdrop, but it's a valid idea. And you paid to test if that idea works or not, and it didn't. And you paid with your stop. Let's see, I want to see if we get a setup here at 500 with this undercut. I'm interested in grabbing a long here. Tough though, tough. Because I would want to see a little scalp here at 500, but we're into the top of this range. All right, I'm going to try that. Okay. I'm gonna start moving that into break-even territory. And let's see, the outer trail should hit any second. There you go, the outer trail is out. There you go. 10 points hit, just like that. Alright, my bad, Kev. Before you hopped in, I was looking for a undercut of this 500, so it just happened to trigger right now, so I had to grab that. Yeah, look, I get it. I get your. It's just been tough in general. Like I was saying before you hopped into this environment's not easy for a lot of traders. Like I see it all over Twitter right now. That these conditions are just harder. It's not just yeah, it's easier for longs and shorts overall, but just because the market's going up. But yeah, as far as still having trouble with it, I get it. There's a lot of fake outs. Like it's choppy. It's not great, but it's a little easier for my strategy because I'm only looking for 10 points. But for guys like Benny, as you know, he rides for 100 plus points. It's harder for him because he just doesn't get those moves. And if he does, there was not a signal or not a setup. So I completely understand. But feel free to send me your other trades that fail, longs and all. But yeah, I don't think your trade was bad overall. Like I said, I definitely think it had edge. It just, stops, get ran. I took this trade right now, fully expecting the outcome of, okay, my stop might get ran. And it is what it is. Because look what I'm doing. I'm over here. I'm longing into the top of this range essentially. This 30 minute. Let me see. Right into the top of this range. Obviously, it's like, yeah, I have a level of interest. Yeah, I have the backdrop, but can I say that my trade is A plus? Not really. I'm longing right into the ceiling, but still, like I figured if we undercut this, it could at least pop for 10 points, and I got that. But trading trade-offs, man. Trading trade-offs. Sometimes our stops just get hit. Hope that helps. What's a bullish pendulum swing? I don't think I fully understand the terminology. Let me see if I could. Is that like a break of a recent high and a higher low there? Let's see if I could find a chart or something. Bounce off the bottom of the 30-minute range. Do you mean something like, let's use this range here as context, for context. Switch it to a 15 seg just to make it wider. So let's pretend this is our range, right? Do you mean just going short, like for example, like right here, as we're just near it? Yeah, something like that's solid, as long as you have a signal, obviously. Like if you're looking on 30-minute, you want to see a 30-minute signal. Oh, I gotta close it. All right. Yeah, if you're looking for something like a higher low at the bottom of the range, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, that would definitely work. I personally just like to trade simple Wyckoff, so like I love a good undercut. Like something like this paired with my range low, or for you if you want a short, a range high, like an upthrust of a range. I love those. But it has to be paired with a signal candle on the time frame that you're watching. So if it's a 30-minute that you're watching, You need to see a signal on that before anything. And alternatively, like I get you're trying to still utilize your lower time frame. If you're alternatively, what you can do is, like, if this is your 30 minute and you're watching this as your 30 minute and you see we're starting to curl back up, like this is, maybe this is your signal, like some sort of bullish engulfing, right? Then on the higher or a lower time frame, you want to look for a higher low. So for today's trade, right? Let me delete this. I'll just keep it fine. For today's trade, right? If you're looking at an up thrust at prior day high, you want to trade it like D-Wall does. I don't know if you've ever seen his executions or his trade ideas, but he basically looks for something like, so something like this, basically, yeah, you have an up thrust or maybe some sort of a structure on the 30 minute at your prior day high. And then he'll just take something like this. So we get your move down and then either retest that same area or that lower high. And our lower high would happen to be here paired with the overnight high. So it'll be perfect for you. Hopefully that makes sense. So, like I said, either want to look for your higher time frame signal or just some, like, if you're entering on the lower time frame, you don't want to enter on your first little doji if you're trading a higher time frame structure, because it's just going to get ran. You want to look for some market structure like a higher low, lower high paired with your higher time frame analysis. I would say, yeah. So a 30-minute up thrust, and once you see a signal there, I would go to your 1 minute or 2 minute, whichever one you're comfortable with, and just look for a lower high. And sometimes that lower high can happen before, or not before, but like while that signal is forming. So maybe you're looking for like a shooting star on the 30-minute or a 15-minute. But like while one of these is forming, a lower high could be being made on a 1 minute. So I would be looking for that. Just, you're spot on to look for your levels and structure on the higher time frame, right? But look for your entry on something like a 1 or a 2 minute. That could be a lower high or higher low if you're long or short, or just like a very, very clean candle, signal candle, which, I mean, you had one, but like I said, it's not enough. Like, I would want to see a lower high there. Unless you're willing to have a lower hit rate, which that's fine too. Like, yeah, you could try there, but your odds of getting stopped out are higher, but it comes with a favor of having a tighter stop. So, but you could try a lower high. Maybe you miss out on some of the move, but now you have more conviction. Hope that makes sense. No, it's not. It's not only because of the backdrop. Like I said, it's because you got to think about it. Like I said, your higher time frame, those candles are huge. So whatever you see on your higher time frame, on the lower time frame, it's not going to be that perfect. Not always, anyway. So you don't want to be the first one trying to short, which you essentially were. Like, you want to see some other sellers step in, and then once you see that lower high, then you short with them. And I would be telling you the same thing for a long. It has nothing to do with a backdrop or anything. It's just more so of a conviction thing. I think you hear it, Kyle say it all the time. Those, like, just true reversals where you're basically like either catching the falling knife or trying to catch the top. Those are the hardest trades. So the way to make it the easiest on yourself and raise your hit rate is by waiting for a market structure, which would be a higher low or a lower high. Because now you have conviction that bigger buyers or bigger sellers stepped in on your same idea, and now when you see that higher low or lower high, you can join them. The only thing that's bad about that is sometimes you just don't get a higher low or a lower high. Sometimes, your level hits and it just gets bought or sold, but you rarely see that. Something like this where it would be like, boop, hits your level and just instantly down. Like, you almost never see that. Almost never. It's always something like, so you want to get in on one of these here, ideally on the first one, and your stop just be the below that higher low, or you could have the full big stop, which if you're going to be doing that, just go a little lighter on the size because that's going to be wide. Awesome, man. Happy to help. Happy to help. Alright, yeah, this is probably it for me though for the stream. I'm gonna be shutting it down. It's getting into my cutoff. And I'll probably be back on for the last 2 hours. See if I could get anything else. But so the stats for the day, like pretty much into goal. Well, not really. Halfway there. But up on the day, started at deep red. Clawed my way out. 8 trades. 6 out of 8 of them were green. There's the hit rate. all that. No, well, I'm gonna start. I just started this week. This is my third day streaming, so I'll be doing it as soon as Kyle shuts down. I'll crank mine up and just scalp for 10 points if there's an opportunity. I'll be doing that probably every day now. I don't know yet. I'm still messing with it. Just see what the vibes are. Yes, sir. All right, man. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the think tank. Gonna shut this thing down.